So we're going to do that right now. Now, guys, here's the thing with neutering your dog. Part of this video is about neutering, or not neutering.
This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video. Come on, man. So, he's got a really good point right here.
My dog's not neutered. He's 2 years old. My dog also shows no aggression. Vets started to tell people to not neuter their dog until they're 18 months old. I'm fine with that. Problem is, when the dog starts doing stuff at a year old, which some of these, we also have a Rottweiler who's not neutered right now at a year, and a German Shepherd here who's not neutered. They're all showing some dominance, a lot of humping, a lot of excessive smelling. They're showing all these problems because they're not neutered. So don't have this hard and fast rule about, I'm not going to neuter my dog because the vet says, your vet said, because there was a study done about 8 years ago, that said they get more cancer when they're neutered too early. All right, you know what else could be causing cancer in dogs? The food they eat. The pills you give them once a month for heartworm and other stuff. How about the vaccinations? How about the flea treatments? Those could all be giving your dog cancer. Yet, we're going to actually not neuter a dog even though it's showing serious problems because they have all this testosterone going through them.
Picked up his head at the perfect time because he makes such a great point right there. So this guy came to me almost 3 years old. Thank you. You're good. And he still had his testicles. His owners couldn't control him. He has been showing aggression towards them whenever he was eating food, high resource guarding with them, their property, his food when he fed them, showing aggressive towards people. And they just started sheltering him, not working on the behavior, not correcting him, and showing him how to behave. And so he came to me with a very high self-esteem of himself. Hey, all I got to do is bark at these people. They get afraid. You know, this dude's going to do the same thing. And a lot of it came from this testosterone. Hey, I'm the big dog. I'm going to just, you're going to listen to me. I'm going to push my weight around and dominate you. And if they had fixed him when he was younger, as well as got in training, because like he said, fixing isn't going to fix everything, but it's going to help a lot, especially that process of training them, because he won't have all that extra testosterone. They wanted to breed him, and that just would have been a horrible idea. They couldn't even control him. You didn't need more puppies with him. You didn't need him living with that testosterone. Just get him fixed.
Neuter them when they start showing dominance. Not to say dominance is only with unneutered dogs, but there is something that happens around a year old with unneutered males, and you need to be conscious of it. And you need to nip it in the bud right when it happens. And neuter your dog. All right. So Connery's too big and too strong to just go like, okay, be with Prince. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a muzzle on him. Here's the way muzzles work. Muzzles don't stop aggression. Muzzles stop vet visits. So he'll still do something on muzzle, but no one's going to the vet.
That's not always true. Make sure you get that muzzle on tight. Make sure it, not too tight, but better too tight than not tight enough. Because if some kind of thing happens, some reaction happens, and that muzzle gets kicked off, boom, you've got an accident waiting to happen. Another thing is some muzzles aren't very sturdy, and like a big dog like this, a weak muzzle, ooh, he's breaking that thing. And so then you've got that other side. If you've got a really strong muzzle, like a metal one, a big dog like this, he hits you hard enough, oh man, that can hurt. It can cause some really big bruises. If he does it to a smaller dog, you could have a dead dog depending on the size of the dog. So you can still have vet visits. Just know that the tool matters. Do your research, pick the right muzzle for your dog, for your breed, for their size.
Right? No one's getting hurt. That's why muzzles work. And people go, oh, the dog knows it can't bite. No, it doesn't actually. Now they might be a little tripped out when the muzzle gets on.
I believe that they do figure that out. Over time, after trying to bite a dog, they're like, man, I can't bite a dog. And that's when they start trying to kick it off. And it's because they know at that point, hey, this thing is preventing me from using my mouth like I would like to.
But that's not the same as the dog consciously going, oh, I can't bite. Here's the thing with muzzles too. Don't use it if the other dog without the muzzle is going to go, your dog. Prince isn't going to go with this guy.
Yeah, what he's saying right there is, he knows his dog isn't going to come after that dog. If he felt like that, you might as well muzzle both of them, or don't even do the interaction at all. Go take them for a walk and get them to actually bond with each other.
Okay? My dog is not going to go with this guy. This guy might go with Prince, and that's the problem. And that's what we got to deal with. So, I'm going to put this muzzle on. Here's the other thing. You have to stop the precursors to aggression. So you're going to see yell. Okay? The minute this guy is kneeing up my dog, I'm going to stop it. The minute this guy postures over my, and you go home, the minute your dog is doing something not cool, stop it. Don't wait till the dog does something. And my dog's right up here ready to come in. This dog knows I'm the boss. If you're going to do this with your dogs, you have to be the boss. You can't just put dogs together on a muzzle and, oh, they've got to fight.
That's why I stress getting a bond with your dog. With this guy right here, I didn't just like go, hey, let me take your freaking food. This dude I just barely met that I know has food aggression. No, I didn't do that. I got a bond with him first. I actually showed him I was the boss before I did something I knew he had such high aggression towards.
No. Watch my past video on a solution to dog aggression is what it's called. Okay, you gotta watch that. And then when the dog
Probably
gets your boss,
good.
you can do stuff like this. The owner of this dog can't do this. One, she doesn't have access to dogs. Good dogs. The other is she doesn't have the skill to do this. So first meeting between this guy. This guy's not looking good for meeting other dogs. Oh, where's the fuck up? Prince, come on. Prince, come. All right, he's running around. So we're gonna let him in. The minute this guy does anything, I'm gonna clap. Hey, and I'm gonna grab him. Okay, back it up. I'm already backing him up by the way. This is not his door to go. There's a dog. I just want to get to that dog. Leave it. Prince, come on. Come on. Hey.
So right there, I know I'm playing it fast because I like to watch videos fast and get through a lot as fast as I can. So he did that because his dog, he was going over him in a very, it was just a very dominant, not a way you want your dog to be meeting another dog. Okay? So see right here how he's hyper focused. I know I'm pointing at nothing for you guys, but he's hyper focused. He's putting his body over Prince, and a dog like Prince is likely not going to do something, but a dog that wasn't well trained, they might have a problem with another male dog, especially since they're both not fixed, coming up and just being so in his face, over top of him, bearing like, oh, I'm the boss of this house, and it's not his house. It's Prince's house, if anything. So.
Right there. This isn't his house. This is Prince's house. Okay? And he's just like, yeah, but I'm just going to skip over Prince. No, you're not. That's not the way this world works. Good boy. That's not the way this dog world works. Now we're going to let it go because of his tail. If that tail stops, he's going to get corrected.
Also, you can see right in there, he's moving his eye back and forth. He's not hyper-focused anymore. He's got his nose in Prince. He's actually engaged in what dogs are supposed to do. He's smelling Prince. What's going on? Who is this dog? That's a good thing to do. And his tail's expressing that he's happy and he's excited about doing it. Even though this guy just yelled at him, that's okay. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm going back into Prince. What can I do? He's trying to figure it out, trying to learn.
Right?
So like right there would have been a really good time to give him a reward. This guy doesn't use treats often that I've seen, but that's a really good time to marker that point. Like, hey, he actually stopped and checked up hey, am I doing good? And so that's a great time to be like, good boy, you're doing good. You can give him a treat if you wanted to. In this particular moment, I wouldn't. I would just give him a good boy. And then I would go right back to the conversation I was having with either the other person with the dog or, in his case, the camera.
That tail stops, he's getting corrected. Hey!
See, so you saw it. I'm hoping. If not, rewind it. Check out his video. Watch that video. So he started to hyper focus again. He wasn't completely over Prince with his body language, but his eyes said it all. His eyes got focused again, and he stopped being curious.
Who cares about a yell and hey? It redirects him. Am I yelling at the dog? Yeah, I'm yelling at the dog. He needs to be yelled at.
And I agree and I don't agree, because he could have probably been able to correct this dog without being so high. The reason I believe he's not is because, oh, hey, I see a treat bag over there. I don't see him with him often. The reason he's being so high, though, is because he wants to make sure that dog understands, no, you can't do that, because he knows the dog is reactive and he doesn't want a bad experience right now. He wants to nip it in the butt right away.
Look at Prince. Look at Prince. Look away. Prince is like, I'm not going to incite anything. He's like,
he's also doing that because he just made a large, high correction, and Prince knows him. Prince understands what he just said was a correction that meant to stop doing whatever you're doing. So Prince is kind of over there in the back like, were you talking to me? Because he doesn't quite know, but he knows what he just said was a correction.
Doing this. He's like, I don't want to get in a fight. That's why. Is it cool for your dog to mean mug a dog who's being like, I don't want to fight? It's not cool. We gotta stop it. We gotta stop this. And the key is you gotta stop this early. People send me dogs too late.
The whole time back there, he's trying to get that muzzle off. It's because he wants to use his mouth. Does it mean he wants to use it in aggression? Not necessarily. But he wants to use his mouth. He wants to have access to it. and he can tell that this muzzle is preventing that.
Fix them. Most trainers can't. I can't always fix them. Why am I doing this? Because he's like, I'm gonna get the muzzle off and I'm gonna rub it on you, Joel. No, you're not.
That guy does that. It hurts too.
Good boy. Why are we doing it in this room and not out on the property? Because I don't want them to have that much room out there. I gotta be able to control this right here. Do it in your living room. Look at the tail. Right? Is he happy? Yeah, it's a lower whack. That's a happy whack. When you first met him and the second yell I did,
When I first met,
he
was really excited. You know, he doesn't know what energy he can use right now because he's getting these corrections he's not used to. So he's kind of like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? His demeanor's changing, his ears are back, his tail is lower, and it's wagging slower.
Frankie, come here. Good boy. Good boy. I'm just being hardcore. Okay? Knee petting Prince is not an invite for this guy to come. Well, why am I being like this? I'm being like
You know, before he gets into that, it's good to do that kind of thing, especially when you have a reactive dog, because, you know, not all dogs are like Prince. And a dog that's not like Prince might become reactive because another dog's coming up on him. So you're going to nip that possibility right there if you prevent the other dog coming up. And then you can do small interactions with the dogs both at the same time if you wanted to show them that, hey, you can be pet at the same time. Because I can pet all my dogs at the same time and have a big old pack hug. But if I have an aggressive dog, a dog that can get reactive, then I'm not going to have them a part of that pack love at that time until I've worked with them more and I feel comfortable with doing that. And if I do it and then there is a reaction, well, I got to nip that in the bud really quickly.
this because this dog is going to meet a dog soon that isn't as good as Prince, and he cannot be a jerk to that dog. So I'm getting every little thing. So I'm petting Prince, and he's going, I'm going to get in there. I'm going, they're not. They're not. We got to tamp these guys down, okay? This guy cannot be aggressive. Look how big and strong this guy is. He cannot be aggressive in his life to anyone.
Same with that guy.
So you got to catch these little things, okay? Yeah, come on, Prince, come here. What a good boy Prince he is. What a good boy. Why am I not being like, oh my God, you're such a good boy? To him, I can say, good boy. You don't want to pet your dog when they're highly stimulated. And he was good. He looks good. But that doesn't mean I start going, oh my God, you're being so good, Prince, you're being so good.
Yeah, I agree with this too. I kind of made a point earlier. You mark the behavior, do a little pet, little love. In a different scenario, I would use a treat as well. And then you're just done. Okay, that marking's done. We move on. And if they do something good again, you can mark that again.
He's being good. He should be good. Okay? We're not going to give love and a ton of attention for a dog doing what it should do. Good. Yeah. Now I'm going to pop this muzzle off. So the minute you pop the muzzle off, you think you need to be more careful? Yes.
So it's something I would have done differently there is I would have corrected the dog for trying to get the muzzle off because I want to teach them that the muzzle's not a bad thing, that it's good to leave it on, and if I catch them trying to get it off, I always tell them, no, don't do that, leave it on, because you want them to feel comfortable with it on and that they can't take it off. And what he did just now is showed the dog that, hey, if I mess with it, he might take it off.
Hey, so you see his tail change? Right when Prince
Hyper
started to
focus
smell him,
too.
his genitals a little bit, his tail changed a little bit.
Check them eyes as well. Like right now it's there, play. He's like, okay. See, Prince initiated some play for him. And so then he was just like, okay.
Now it's that bigger whack. It's play. Play went back. That was the growl. It's play. Play doesn't.
The growl was that warning. He's letting him know, hey, I got a boundary. And it's just like the hey or the no that he's implementing as his correction.
It's fine, but it's just he's so big, he's so strong. Now it's getting better. Now you see the difference between the wag at the beginning and the wag now. It's a happy wag. We can relax a little. Look at Prince wagging. We can relax a little. We couldn't relax before. That's why we had the muzzle on.
Prince's wag is like,
I was intense. And then guess what? The dogs were tense. Because there was no muzzle. I would have been like, I can't let these two dogs fight. I would have been like, I would have not acted tense, but they would have sensed my tense. Right?
and he's got a huge, great point right there. Like, and he's an experienced trainer, someone that's working with dogs like this all the time, and he understands that they give you that sense of comfort. You know, if you're afraid that something might happen, get your dog acclimated to a muzzle and get him muzzled.
Look at, he hasn't done a lot of dogs. I mean, look at how he's eating Prince, smelling the side of the dog. Now, we have to still see triggers, okay? So, Prince has to smell him, and he's got to deal with it, okay? I mean, look at it. He hasn't met a lot of dogs. That's why he's just, like, smelling him. He's not stiff, though. Remember in the beginning how stiff he was? Now he's not stiff. That tail stops and correcting.
Yeah, he's curious. He's
Why would the tail stop?
checking and smelling.
You're going to correct the tail stopping. And by correction, I mean clap and grabbing. gotta be on this stuff. I'm in his line of sight. I'm like, hey, I'm here, dude. Don't forget that I'm here. I'm letting him know that the boss is in the room. We're not messing around. The boss is here. Now, Prince is showing me that Prince likes him. Right? He's gonna play it out right in front of him. Look at this. I'm gonna let this go because he has been good and I've been happy wagging and let Prince jump on him. Now there's some dominant stuff which I might let go for a minute. If Prince looks uncomfortable, I'm gonna let it go.
So like he pointed out just now, if Prince feels uncomfortable, so he's reading off of his dog's body language. So Prince started a play with him. He did some jumping on him. And so now he's playing in kind, and he's doing this kind of pushing, and it can look like a dominant thing. It can look like it's bad. But the reason that he realizes it's not is because of his dog's body language, because his dog was showing that, hey, I'm okay with this right now. We're doing a little play thing right now. And so he let it continue.
Prince likes it. That's why we're letting this stuff go. He did a mini play back. Prince is a big dog. He can deal with this kind of play. There's some growling in there, which will probably stop.
See, he's doing that because he doesn't know. He's a little uncomfortable with this type of play. This, I believe he said, was his first dog he was meeting.
Why am I letting this go? I'm letting this go because he has a lot of energy as a dog, and he has to get it out with other dogs. There's no way to exercise this dog and mentally stimulate him without playing with other dogs. The other reason why I'm letting it go is Prince is the boss of this place, and he needs to be able to assert his bossiness. Now, Prince was the one who made it first.
That's totally okay if your dog is like Prince. Well-mannered dog, heck yeah, he can do stuff like this, boss around a little bit. If you don't have a well-mannered dog, stop him, get a little bit calm again, and get some play that's less rough like this if your dog isn't well-mannered.
Started was like, hey, I don't want to fight. He was being cool. He was being chill, and this guy was in Prince's face. And now we're just, hey, hey!
Alright, I think I'm done with this one. I'm pretty sure he stops right now.
All this weird energy.
Alright, I'll be back though. I'm gonna make some more of these.
Weird energy. His play. Hey, both of you, Prince!